What's up, everybody? A Spare with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights. I know it's been a while. I just wanted to give you guys a quick update on what's been going on and what's probably going to happen. I'm going to try and keep this one a little bit shorter, just because, like I said, it is just kind of an update. I'm not really... there's not too much else to go over at the moment, but I figured I would... just kind of let everybody know. I saw a couple comments here and there that was kind of like, hey, what's going on? And you're still alive? Spoiler alert. No. No, yes, I am. Very much alive. So, one of the things is that, as some of you are aware, if you've been keeping up with my regular channel updates over the last couple of months, there's been a lot of chaotic stuff going on behind the scenes, and it was just easier to take a break from the channel for a while and get some of that sorted out while not trying to record over top of it. But I'm still helping my brother with his contracting job. Unfortunately for us, or fortunately, depending on how you're looking at it, the client had kind of changed a couple things, added some things, and the project got a little bigger than we originally expected. It's good for our wallets, but not as good for our time and our schedule. The other problem with it has been some of the aspects of the job have taken us longer than expected. We anticipated, this amount of time for this amount of time for that, and some of them have taken a little longer. I mentioned in my last update, some of it was due to other things interrupting stuff, such as he had a shoulder injury, I got sick, then he got sick, so we weren't really able to go down and work on the job site as much. So there was a large chunk of that time where we were recovering from various different things or having to deal with some pop-up stuff that prevented us from getting more done on the project. But we are kind of almost back in full swing. We had a slight little scheduling hiccup at the moment where we have a few days here and there where we're not able to actually go down and work on it. So it's slowing us down a little bit, but we're getting back into the swing of, working more diligently on it. And so it shouldn't take a whole lot longer. But again, with some of the stuff, when you estimate time and then it doesn't work, or you have issues with things and then it takes longer and there's delays and stuff, it's hard to give an actual time frame. So, but I will say that I'm beginning to try to, because I didn't realize it would take this long. I didn't think I would be away from my channel this long. So I'm trying to figure out in my schedule if I can find places to work on things when I'm not working with him. Because there'll be a day here or there where, he's not able to, or has personal things he's got to take care of, or I do, or whatnot. And so we're not down there 24/7 every day of the week kind of thing. And so I'm trying to find little times here and there where I might be able to work on something, but I'm not really getting back into the, scheduled content of, I don't have enough of a regular schedule at the moment of what days we have to work with, or how many we'll have one day, or 1 week we might be down there a lot, 1 week we might not. It's too sporadic for me to gauge and go, okay, well, I'm going to work on my episodes this and this day, and then it's too random to really do that. And I was actually going to put this update video out a little bit earlier because, a little bit later, because I was intending to also roll in kind of an E3 summary podcast, because I've done a few of those over the years of kind of doing a summary and my thoughts on E3 and stuff. But quite frankly, I felt like I made you guys wait long enough that I just needed to kind of give you an update on what was going on. So I'm still working with him, still trying to get that done. And then in the midst of some of this, we had like a family reunion and stuff that, since I wasn't on my channel, I'm like, yeah, I guess I can go to that, and stuff like that. So there's been a few little things here and there that have just kind of popped up and prevented us from really hitting the grindstone and getting done with some of it. So it's just taking longer than expected is the summary of it. Neither one of us really intended to be away from other projects and stuff this long, but it's kind of been a sponge that if you put time into it, it just takes more kind of thing. So, it is what it is. So I'm still working on that at the moment. But in the background, I am trying to at least plan, but I've actually been starting to work on things again that when I have a minute, I've been trying to work on my book a bit more, which I'm actually pretty close to done with, in that I'm about 3/4 or more through my last editing pass, and then I'm going to hand it off to kind of a third party, second pair of eyes kind of thing, so that it's an unbiased opinion as kind of a proofread edit pass that's not me, to see if it meets kind of a decent standard for that. So there's still a few more phases to that, but I'm pretty close, like within the next couple of months, if I have time to actually work on it, but I don't know how much time I'll have in trying to help him. So hopefully, as long as nothing else comes up, hopefully we shouldn't have to spend too much longer on there. And if we do, like I said, if we see that it's really going to take another 2-3 months or something, I'm going to try and start figuring out if I can work on some video content here and there, just to give you guys something to tide you over. That does bring me to a couple points, though, because that's pretty much the update of what's been going on. It's basically, yep, we're still doing things, not dead, still planning on coming back to the channel eventually when this is over. Mainly just because my brother has a tendency to overestimate his limitations, and he's hurt himself before doing physical labor like this and stuff, trying to push it because he didn't have anybody helping him, and he just, thought he was Superman, basically. So I was afraid of him doing that again, and so I told him I would help him with it, because everything he's doing, it's like a renovation type job. It's not just like, let's paint the wall or something. I mean, we're actually like renovating a client's home that he was working with and stuff. So it's like, it's stuff, like it's a job type of thing. And so I when he told me about it, I'm like, you need like at least another person, but probably a third or a fourth person, kind of thing. But he doesn't have that to work with, so I'm helping. It's the long and the short of it. So unfortunately for me, family is very important, and well, it's not really unfortunate for me. Unfortunate for you guys. It's not really unfortunate for me. It's unfortunate for you guys. But family is very important to me, and so it was kind of a no question, a no brainer. I'm like, yeah, I'll take a break. It doesn't matter. And actually, I have to admit, I've really enjoyed taking a break. Not that I don't like making my video content, but it gave me a lot of time to really sit and look at my channel objectively and pull out of the day-to-day routine of not getting stuck into the same old schedule of, I always put out this episode every Monday, every Tuesday, whatever it was. And it actually let me really pull back and go, is this working though? Like, is this something that, I want to keep doing, or should I change it up, or should I do something different? Now, I will preface this because I know some of you may be having a panic attack at the moment. I have no intention of changing much with the inspiration series. Every time I talk about changing my channel content, most everyone is usually fine with changes that I suggest, but everyone, immediately is like, don't change the Space Engineers Inspiration series, that's perfect as it is, And so I'm fine with that. I don't really intend to change it. I probably, if nothing else, even if all of the content schedule changes, the Inspiration series will probably still be a weekly episode no matter what schedule I have. And it's not all that difficult to film either. I've tried to do the more cinematography, edited, polished, like that. And actually, the majority, there's a few people that comment and say they like it, but the majority of my viewers usually say they don't like it and they prefer the haphazard, improvised style that I started the Inspiration series with, which is fine, because it actually makes it easier on me to just kind of bumble around and bang into walls and try and find doors. It's a lot easier to film that for me than it is to try and edit everything. I know how, if everybody really liked the more polished version, but since everyone seems to, say no every time I try and do that, I'm like, yeah, that's fine with me. It's easier to do. So I don't think I'll change much, if anything, with the Inspiration series. If anything, I might just try and add a little bit more polish to it, maybe do title cards or something for everyone, like I used to do it at a certain point before I lost some of those art files. But since I've been talking about rebranding anyway, and kind of changing my logo and my channel art and all that, I'm going to have to make new thumbnail arts and stuff anyway, so I can probably go ahead and do some title cards while I'm there and start adding stuff like that. But I'm not really trying to change too much. It may just be a fresh coat of paint on it or something like that. Maybe a new format or something. But overall, the meat and bones of the series is probably not going to change. However, I've been strongly looking at a lot of my content and stuff that I've put out, and I am debating, and I really would appreciate you guys' feedback. I know not everybody watches the channel updates. I have 10,000 subscribers, and I may get a couple hundred views on my channel update videos, so I know not everybody is watching it. But a lot of times the people that are watching it are usually your diehard people that are the ones you really want to hear from because they're your core. So, with that said, I'd really like to hear from you guys on whether or not you would appreciate regular update type video, or not update, but regularly released type videos, or a greater focus on theme and polish. And what I mean by that is I'll take the Space Engineers Let's Play, for example. I personally have not been happy with the last couple seasons of the Let's Play. I've been doing a lot of phoning it in, essentially, where I would look at my schedule and go, I need to get this done, but I don't have time to do a lot, so I'm just gonna kind of play and see what happens. And when you look at a lot of the episodes, I'm not getting a lot done. Like, it's a lot of grunt work and me talking and stuff, but I'm really not progressing. I watch some of these YouTubers that do Minecraft Etho, for example. It's like, I want to build this crazy mob contraption thing that's like 6,000 blocks long. Hold on. And then it just cuts and he's like, and I'm done. And I'm like, holy crap, dude, how long did that take? So I'm definitely not putting in as much progress into each of the Let's Play style episodes. And quite frankly, with the progress that I've made on my book, and some other projects that I've got going, and like I said, taking this break, when I have been working on my content, I've been working more on the project side content because I'm not doing my videos right now. So I've been working more on my book. I've been planning more out on Dog Squad. I've been storyboarding and stuff for newer ideas and other stuff. And it kind of took me back to my roots of what I always really wanted to do with my channel, which was more creation than just episodic content type of thing. So my question really comes down to, would you guys prefer something that has some fluff episodes, has some filler in there that's a little boring, but that it comes out every week at a set time, like every Monday, another episode? Might not be anything really important that happens, but it's another episode. Or would you prefer that one week I might put out 2 episodes, one time there might be a month in between a Space Engineers Let's Play episode, because I'm not done with the theme for that episode that I wanted. I hope that makes sense. I don't know, like, for example, in that kind of a structure, it'd be like, I want to build a drone. Well, that may only take me an hour or something. It never does, but let's just talk hypothetical. So let's just say it takes me an hour to build a little ship or a driller or something. And so I put out a 20-minute video or something and it's done. Versus I want to build a hangar or something, and instead of putting you guys through 5-6 episodes of me building a hangar, it would be like, I might not put out an episode for 2-3 weeks or even a month, but then when I come out, it's like the whole process, the hangar's done. Because I personally have been leaning towards that. I've been looking at my content going, I think it would be a lot more appreciated and you guys would enjoy it more if if there was a lot more meat to it and I was really getting more done each time. But in order to do that, with my schedule, with the other projects I've got going on behind the scenes, I don't think I can deliver that level of quality and consistently on a regular basis at the same time. I think it's going to have to... I've been trying to do it for years. I've been trying to balance it. You guys have seen it before if you've been paying attention to my schedule, how 1 minute I'm doing 7 episodes a week, and then I cut it down to like 4, and then I cut it down to 3. And the fact of the matter is, I'm starting to realize I've got to kind of do one or the other. I can either do regular and consistent content, or I can do high quality content. I personally prefer high quality, but I wanted to hear from you guys, because if you're like, no, I'd rather see you do stuff every week, and I don't care if you don't do as much. That's something I would like to know, because if the majority feel that way, it's okay. But if there's a few people, but then a lot of people are like, no, I really thought some of them were boring, I'd rather you wait and put out a good episode, I think that's what I'd actually prefer moving to. The thing that started some of it was I came up with a few ideas for doing a bit more, a less let's play content and more scripted and controlled and for a different purpose. For example, the Space Engineers programming series. I want to revise that, but I want to come out with it as an actual tutorial course type setup rather than trying to do a let's play, but we're coding, which is what I called a let's code. Again, I've mentioned this in previous updates. Looking back at my other content, a lot of the Space Engineer programming series did very well in terms of views. It's some of my highest viewed content, but most of the comments were criticizing for me bumbling around. It took me forever to get to anything important, yada, 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 yada. And that was because I wasn't structuring it like a tutorial. I was doing it as a let's code. We're doing this together. We're figuring this out as we go. And in hindsight, I don't know that that was the smartest decision. I think people, whether they read the description, whether they didn't, I think most people just walked in expecting it to be a tutorial and were confused and disappointed when it didn't quite deliver. So in thinking of restructuring that, I realized I couldn't do that regularly. As more codes get more complicated, it'll take me longer to write them, etc. and so on. And so I don't think it'll work as a regular episodic series. It's going to have to be when I get a new script done, here's the video on it. And I'd also like to open that up to more feedback things that at the end of every episode that reveals a new code, walks you through how to do it, blah, 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 blah. Then leave it open to what do you guys want to see next? What's something else? Rather than me recoding something that someone else has already done 10 times better, what's something you're looking for that you haven't found that maybe I could try my hand at and then show you how to do it along the way and you can learn yourself. That's kind of the structure I'm thinking of for that series. But it got me thinking, well, why don't I do that with some of my other stuff of when I'm playing a Let's Play even, I want to work on this project today. Again, referencing Etho. I love his content, but that's what he does. He does huge projects and fits them into one episode type of thing. Now, with that said, I do feel like I'm going to start cutting down my length of videos to probably, like a Let's Play episode, maybe 15, 20 minutes instead of a full 30, 45 minutes or something, but I'm cutting out a lot of fluff and it would be more targeted. So it'd be kind of all the important stuff, none of the fluff, but it may not come out as consistently is kind of the new structure I'm thinking of going towards. But I wanted everybody's feedback because as a content creator, you're kind of trying to stick to your guns and do what you feel would be best for your channel, for your brand, whatever. But at the same time, at least in YouTube, and video content, not like you're buying my book or something, but you're just watching content, that just has to be something you like to do. Like, it's one of those that it would be like writing a book like I'm doing, and then everyone telling you that it's terrible, and you're like, well, screw it, I'm going to write it anyway. No, you need the people who are consuming the content to be in your corner kind of thing. So it's important for me to get feedback and ask and pose big changes like that and kind of see if there's a demand for it, because I could have an idea and like the idea, but if no one wants to see it, then even if it's a good idea, it may not be smart to do it or to implement it. So that's something that I'm pondering on. It would also allow me more flexibility with working on some of my projects, such as my book, future video game projects, future animation projects. I've got 2 or 3 in the back of my head. One being a machinima, 3 guesses what that series is, and 2 being possible 3D animation series. Those, not getting anyone's hopes up, those are far out. Like, I'm not planning on those being released anytime soon. But they are in the pipeline of things I'm thinking of. But you may see that Machinima series after my book comes out. That may be my next project that I stick to, since it's been in the pipeline for a long time. By now, if you know what I'm talking about, you should be very aware of what I'm referring to. Dog squat. Man, that cough. So anyways, that's kind of my thing, was I wanted to ask you guys kind of if you'd be okay with that, if you like those ideas of less regular content, but when it comes out, it's like, that was a good episode, you know, because my slogan for Sleepless Night Studios, I always designed it when I envisioned the channel and the brand was always, we don't rest till it's the best. I thought that was a really, you know, catchy slogan, and it had to do with sleepless nights kind of thing and all that stuff. But I have to admit, the last few years, I've been focused more on regular, consistent content and less about the quality. And taking this sabbatical has it's broken me out of my routine. And then when I look back at my channel, I'm going, huh, that's not really doing what I wanted it to do. I kind of envisioned it doing something else. And quite frankly, I had always tried to build up my channel to be a form of income to support me, and it's not really doing that, if I'm being honest. It's been more of a creative endeavor, but less of a career level, like, income. And so it got me thinking, well, if this isn't really supporting me, there's no real reason to be consistent at the cost of quality. So I could kind of turn around and do more of what I want to do, which is more scripted stuff, more machinima series, more tutorial-based series, more stuff. Move away from the Let's Plays is my point. But I did start thinking there are some big fans of the Let's Play series, so I may want to keep a couple of them, one or two, but do them the same way, where they're not as consistent, but they're increase their quality level type of thing. But I did want to bring that up as well, that I am planning on, if everyone's okay with quality over quantity and frequency, I'm planning on shifting a bit more when I come back in full swing to a bit more creative content and less Let's Play styles, because although Let's Play styles are easier to make, you're just playing a game, again, I've kind of taken a long, hard look at it and gone, I don't think this is really doing what I wanted it to do. I wanted it to be stuff like Dog Squad, stuff like where I could talk about my book and advertise for my book series and create more worlds and stories and things, not really to just play games. It was like, I've always been a gamer, and so I've always had a passion for games, but it's like I mentioned in my last update, I'm thinking about doing maybe even some game and movie review type videos as well, and getting into some criticism type stuff. Not that I'm looking for hot button issues or trying to, you know, start an argument or debate or anything over, you know, oh, I think Last Jedi was good. Oh no, he's crazy. Last Jedi was terrible. You know, like, I'm not trying to incite that, but I've always been a content creator at heart, that I've always, you know, even as a kid, I was making up stories in my head, and that's why I'm writing a book, and that's why I made Dog Squad and stuff. It was a medium to tell stories that I thought up in my head. And so I do feel like over time of trying to create your own, you get pretty good at looking at what other people are doing wrong and what they did right. And there's, you know, my good friend Caden Red Pearl and I have conversations hours long over criticizing a movie or criticizing a game or telling about how awesome it is or how good the writing was and stuff. And so, you know, he's told me before that I should try and do reviews and things like that because he thought I had enough to offer. And I don't know if you guys would feel the same. So let me know what you guys think about all that stuff. If you'd be okay with me moving towards less regular, more high-polished content and moving a little bit away from the Let's Plays and more towards more unique and scripted type content, and then having a peppering of Let's Plays in there. If you'd be okay with that, I'd really like to know, because that's where my head's headed. Headed? That's where I'm thinking of going. So I'd really like you guys' take on that. I'd like to know what you thought about that, if you'd be okay with that, if you'd be like, no, I watched your channel just for the Let's Plays, if you lose those, I'm leaving, you know, that kind of stuff, or if it's like, no, I think that'd be cool, and I think it has been growing a little bit stale, it'd be good to shake things up, let me know. So yeah, speaking of shaking things up a little bit, I posted in my last video, my last update video, a shot of the new logo that I've been designing. I don't have the intro video finished because I haven't done the audio and stuff, but I think I have the visuals and the animation done. So I'm going to leave that about here-ish, and I'm going to let you guys give that a look and let me know what you think. Actually, I'm just going to leave it at the end of the video before my actual outro currently. And you can let me know what you guys think about the new intro video. Like I said, I don't have the audio done. It's still work in progress and stuff, but I think the visual side of it is finished at this point, other than maybe a couple little tweaks here and there. But let me know what you guys think about this new intro that you're going to see in a second. This is going to be kind of where I'm headed with the new logo, new intro, new rebranding type thing. And I'm still working on all the stuff in the background of, like, you know, I may come out with a merchandise store with shirts and hats and stuff like that if you guys are interested in that stuff. I'm working on a lot of that stuff in the background while I've been away from the channel making videos. So I have been doing stuff. Things are still getting done. Don't worry about that. And I will come back eventually. It's not a permanent thing. I'm not like, it's been this long, I'm just done with my channel. No, I am coming back. It's just a matter of time, and unfortunately I just can't give you guys a factor right now. But with that, I hope you all enjoyed all of that information update, and I really would look forward, and I'd really appreciate your feedback and stuff like that on some of these new ideas that I'm throwing around in my head for when I make my triumphant return. And with that, I'm going to leave you with the new intro video. I do apologize again that there's no sound for it. It'll be a little awkward, but I hope you guys can bear with me. And if you're still here, and if you followed all of this, and you get to watch the new intro, cool points to you, and I'd also like your feedback on that. Let me know what you guys think. Though, keep in mind, if you don't like it, probably going to be tough, because I've worked a long time on it, and it's probably going to stay that way for a while. So there's that. But yeah, so I'm going to leave you with that, and let me know what you guys think in the comments about all of that stuff, all the new stuff, the new intro, the new schedule ideas, the new content ideas. Let me know what you guys think about all that, and in the meantime, I'm going to let you guys go for now. Hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.